plays a mean guitar. After midnight he performs on a tree branch stage. He is brave, he is outrageous, he is Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel. He will steal your heart and eat all your pecans. He loves cuddling in his fleece when bedtime comes calling. Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel, the cutest rocking squirrel in the universe.
They're all messed up.
Howdy, gang, and welcome to yet another edition of They're All Messed Up. And here in just a little bit, we're going to be talking about Tower of Evil and Who Saw Her Die, both from 1972. Tower of Evil was directed by Jim O'Connelly, and Who Saw Her Die was directed by Aldo Lotto. I may be mispronouncing that, but I try my best. So I'm going to get some housekeeping stuff out of the way first, and then we're going to get to these movies. So those of you that maybe were here early, it doesn't look like anybody's in here right now. I'm beginning to think maybe changing it to 9 maybe wasn't so hot of an idea. But I kind of did that for Uncle Bill, plus anybody else that, maybe it was a better time for them. So I'm trying to get, situate these things where the most people can be in here, or the alternative is people just aren't interested in watching this stuff live. They would, because some of these things get watches later. Perhaps people think I shouldn't be doing these things live. Maybe they're not, interesting or something like that to watch as a live stream. Maybe they would prefer something else. I would take any suggestions that you guys and gals may have on that. But I'm going to go ahead and do this anyway. But those of you that maybe were in here earlier to watch the intros and the little commercials that I put on here, or maybe on some of the other streams I've done, you've noticed the Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel little promo. I am still planning on making a series of animated shorts starring Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel. These will be safe for your kids to watch. I know a lot of the material I have on my channel is not kid friendly, and it's not really meant for kids. But Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel will be something that you can safely have your kids in the room. or sit your kids in front of. So just keep that in mind. Um, I have put up a kind of semi highway to hell where Steve and I went to the Skyline Drive-In. However, I was forced to cut parts of it out due to Studio Canal. And again, I didn't even know Studio Canal owned the rights to Trick or Treat. But apparently they do, and they don't. Apparently, they don't like people using clips from the film in live streams and videos. And that happens to me every time I try to use clips. Now, it was told to me, TJ said that he thought it was because of the music. I would be more prone to say that that was the case, but the big blocks that they wanted taken out of it didn't even have music in them. It was just dialogue. So I'm just not sure. I disputed it. I tried to say it was fair use. And Studio Canal came back and said, no, we don't accept that as fair use. The block stays. And it was said that I could appeal, but folks, before you ever appeal one of these things, make sure you read all the fine print, because it does say in there, if you do appeal, you could risk a copyright strike. Right now, I didn't have a copyright strike. I don't wish to have a copyright strike. And so I decided not to go through with the appeal process, and just trimmed out the recommended parts that Studio Canal wanted taken out, which truncated the Highway to Hell episode from 35 minutes to around 22 minutes. So apologies on that. I may try to figure out a way to not show the clips, but to have like Mark Price's dialogue. Mark Price, of course, plays Eddie Weinbauer in the movie, and he was doing a live commentary, and there were some great stories that he told, including a very nice story about Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne. And it was a shame that I couldn't include all of it. The only snippet that remains right now is where Mark Price says that Ozzy Osbourne was a very nice man, and that Sharon ran the show pretty much. But I wanted the other part of it, so I'm going to try to figure out a way where the clips are not used, but the audio is used where Mark Price is talking about Ozzy. So I want to have the most complete version of stuff that I can have for you guys and gals. But sometimes things, get in the way of that, or they get in the way of that for a little bit. I still don't understand how other people can be monetized and nothing that they do gets blocked. Nothing they do, is in danger of not being monetized, all that stuff. This is the first time I've ever had anything just completely blocked in certain countries. And of course, it was blocked in the United States. But Greece and some other places, it was not blocked. But, to be totally honest, I'm not saying I don't have people that watch from Greece and other places. I do. But the problem is that the majority of my viewers come from the United States, and therefore, when a whole video is blocked, that means a big chunk of my viewers cannot watch it. But on the other hand, you've got people that show big chunks of Marvel movies, big clips. And yeah, they got millions and millions of viewers or subscribers, and they get a lot of views on their stuff. Well, the reason they get a lot of views on their stuff is because they can do commentary over these clips. But I mean, they're showing more in the way of clips than I showed on this. And it's like, okay, these people over here can do whatever they want because apparently they're making a bunch of money for YouTube, but I can't because I'm small potatoes. And it makes me angry, but I'm forced to follow the rules that are set down by YouTube. And it happens every time I use clips. Every time I use clips. Not all the time does it get blocked. This is the first time I've been blocked, but usually they tell me, well, you can't monetize this. But for using like less than a minute clip, but I'll quit complaining about that. But I'm still not sure if there's going to be a Friday Foolish tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I keep forgetting to ask Candace if she will be available, but I'm going to try to remember to send her a message tonight to see if maybe we can get something going for tomorrow. And what we had planned to do the next time we do one is kind of have a loose, free form episode of Friday Foolish, where we don't really have a theme. We just kind of throw things at the wall and see what sticks, sort of show. There will be one watch along this weekend. I'm going to let you guys and gals vote on the Black Roses is still winning. Sorry, Uncle Bill, if you watch this, because Uncle Bill kept talking about Rocktober Blood. I said, well, you need to get people in there to vote for Rocktober Blood because Hard Rock Zombies and Rocktober Blood are sitting at 21%, and Black Roses has been the leader for a while now. So I will cut the voting off at some point tomorrow. And then Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, there will be a watch along for Black Roses. Or maybe if a bunch of people, get in there and vote and they vote for one of the others and it gets ahead of Black Roses, hey, you never know. We might have a different thing altogether. I still have the 90 Nightmares sleep shirts for sale for $30 plus $6 shipping. And that does not matter if you buy one sleep shirt or 5 sleep shirts, 10 sleep shirts, 100 sleep shirts, whatever you get. It's still $6 shipping. Now, where else can you get a deal like that? I don't know too many places that you can. And I don't have them on the Deadites on Deck horror shop at deaditesondeck.com just yet. But my PayPal email address is in the chat. So if you want to send $30 plus $6 shipping, again, that's flat rate, whether you buy 1, 5, 10, 100, whatever you want to get. I doubt very seriously anybody's going to want to, get that many of them and spend $30 a piece on them, even if they do just get $6 shipping. But I have designs that have Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, and the Driller Killer. And also there's a special one. I'm going to show you guys and gals. And these are the 90 Nightmares sleep shirts. There's a special Ozzy Osbourne design, and those are of age ladies there, folks. Don't want anybody to get any weird ideas. But they all say, whoever it is. In this case, it says Ozzy came to my slumber party. The Driller Killer came to my slumber party. Freddy came to my slumber party. Jason came to my slumber party. Michael came to my slumber party. And I hope to have other designs at some point in time. Right now, they're only on one color, which is the pink with the heather gray sleeves. But hopefully I can offer other colors coming up soon. So you would just need to send your size, your name, your mailing address, and $30 plus $6 shipping. to my PayPal email address, and I will get one created. Tell me what design, of course, that you want. Freddie, Michael, Jason, Driller Killer, or Ozzy. And my phone's going up. Okay. Not sure what that was, but I'll check it later. I also have some shirts, the Spooky Dog and Sebastian meets shirts that are not yet up on the Deadites on Deck horror shop at deaditesondeck.com, but I do I can show you the couple of designs that I've got now. Hopefully some other designs will be coming soon. So there is an Ozzy Osbourne design, Spooky Dog meets Ozzy Osbourne. And there is Spooky Dog meets Robert England. And you can get these for $20 plus $6 shipping. And again, you can send the color. I can do all colors now, even black. I have a process in place for that. So tell me which of the two designs right now that you want, either Ozzy or Robert England, and send $20 plus $6 shipping. And again, it doesn't matter if you buy one shirt, 5 shirts, 10 shirts, 15 shirts, 25 shirts, it's still going to be $6 shipping. Okay. I also do custom work. Oh, and by the way, send me the color, the size, your name, your mailing address, and the $20 plus $6 shipping. Okay. I also do custom work. It's not all about horror around here. So if you have started a new business, or a friend or family member has started a new business and you want to get some t-shirts or hats or whatever with a particular logo, I have a handy dandy form on the homepage of the shop site at deaditesondeck.com. Again, tell them Poe sent you. And you can fill that out and tell me what it is you so desire, and I will get in touch with you and we'll see what we can do. And if you buy several shirts or hats or whatever, I will offer you a discounted price on those. So just keep all of that in mind. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get to the movies for tonight and talk about the kills in these movies. So the first movie is, of course, Tower of Evil from 1972. I had never seen this movie prior to watching it. Part of it last night and the rest of it today. And it started out promising, and it wasn't a bad little film. It is a British film. And I do believe one of the main characters is the guy who played in Schizo. The movie where the ice skater is her mother was murdered, and she thinks she knows who murdered her mother, and she thinks that the man is coming after her now. She on the several evenings before her wedding, and so the guy that she thinks murdered her mother, or she believes murdered her mother, I believe that's the same guy that played one of the main characters in Tower of Evil. So let's go through these kills first of all. So we have a total of, there's actually several kills in both of these movies. So we have a total of 10 kills in this. So a man's hand is cut off. And these first 4, I think 4 deaths happen before the 10-minute mark. Like you're 8 minutes in and you've already seen about 4 deaths. So you've got a man's hand cut off, a woman's decapitated, a man stabbed with a spear, man stabbed with a knife, a woman who has her neck broken, a woman falls from the tower, a man is shot, a man is burned, a man is stabbed, and a man axed in the head. Um, so what happens is that several of these people, young people, are killed at the beginning of the film in various, kind of gruesome ways. And so then another group of people are going with the man who discovered all these bodies, because this is his, I believe it's his brother and sister in law's house. And they had apparently disappeared. Um, and there's some really weird person going around kind of going like that all the literally that's how they sound. And so they start killing off this new group of people. Um, which, I mean, it was a good setup, and it was very, very promising at the beginning with all those kills before even getting to the 10-minute mark. But then it kind of went into like, what, slutty territory with this one woman. I thought she was with the one guy, but then there was this young guy that was on the boat with them when they were going to the tower. And she just turns into Miss Slutty Pants and just like wants to have sex with this guy at all costs. And I didn't get that vibe from her at the beginning or near the beginning of the film. But I'm not against that stuff per se, and I did not hate the movie, but it seemed to take kind of a weird direction somewhere in the middle of the film, that I didn't even think it needed to have. Because a lot of these people were going to get killed off, and so I didn't think I really needed to delve into their sex lives or anything like that. Um, but for the male audience, they're probably going to appreciate that. They're probably going to appreciate that sex scene, although they don't get to see a lot of the woman. It's mainly the guy laying on top of her doing this thing, and you see his ass more than you do anything else on her. Just just fair warning. Um, but the movie was okay. It started out more promising than it actually became as it went on. It was just an hour and 30 minutes, so it was about average. Um, and yeah, I would recommend it. You can watch it on YouTube for free. And it's a pretty good copy that I watched. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it for a watch. I wouldn't say go out and buy it or anything like that. Um, but I am going to go ahead and give it 4 deadites out of 5, because it wasn't bad or awful or anything like that. It had some very good deaths in it, and the story wasn't too bad. I just, some of the characters I didn't like, or I probably would have gave it a 5 deadites out of 5. Oh, and you know what I forgot? I forgot to add these. I I saved these, and so I wanted to show y'all the poster for Tower of Evil. Startling, shocking suspense while a night of pleasure becomes a night of terror. So I meant to show y'all that as I was talking about the movie. So let's go ahead and bring up the poster for Who Saw Her Die. Okay. So this isn't actually the poster, but this is the cover for the Shameless DVD or Blu-ray, possibly. Before Don't Look Now came Who Saw Her Die. In the end, who will survive to tell the tale? Steve's got a few of these Shameless DVDs or Blu-rays. One thing I will say about this movie is it's very brutal towards children. at least in a couple of cases. And we're going to get to those in the kills, and um, there are a total of 7 kills in Who Saw Her Die. Not as many as Tower of Evil, but a young girl is bludgeoned to death. And by a young girl, I mean a little girl. So this killer is evidently bludgeoning, for the most part, um, young girls with red hair, right? So there's a girl who is drowned, and it looks very much like the little red-haired girl on Deep Red. I can't swear to it, but I'm pretty sure it is her. Um, Another girl gets bludgeoned. A woman gets strangled. A man is stabbed. Another man is stabbed. And a man is burned, for a total of 7 deaths in Who Saw Her Die. It's pretty much set up kind of like a giallo. I think it is called a giallo if you read up on it. You can watch this on Tubi. Again, that seems to be a pretty good print that I watched. Steve says he has it somewhere, but he said, if you watch it on Tubi, it's probably going to be an HD print, and I'm thinking it was. So, I mean, that's the basic story of, for the most part, these young red-haired little girls are being killed. Most of them bludgeoned, but the one girl is drowned. And it does remind me a little bit of Don't Look Now, with I believe Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie, which is a very, very good film. This one was only an hour and 35 minutes, folks. But it seemed longer because I think there was just too much exposition in Who Saw Her Die. It could have been really, really good. It could have been on the caliber of Don't Look Now. Because if I was to compare this film, I was correct, TJ. You say, yes, Dana, that was Nicoletta Elmy from Demons and Deep Red and Bay of Blood. Yeah, actually, she was from all of those films. So thank you for confirming that, TJ. But the film could have been really, really good if it was tightened up a little bit. I didn't hate it. It had its moments. I didn't know who the killer was. Sometimes I watch these for the first time around, like I did this one. And I can tell who the killer is, just mainly, not because I'm so smart, but just because I've seen so many of these films or these types of films that it becomes a little bit easier. But this one, I did not figure out the killer. So I was kind of surprised at the end. But I maybe should have been more on my game or something like that. I've been a little tired lately, so I'm not really sure why I'm tired. I haven't been burning the midnight oil that much at work, but I find myself, even if a movie's not boring, which both of these movies were not boring. I just thought there was too much exposition in Who Saw Her Die, and if they had tightened it up a little bit, it would have been better. But I found myself falling asleep during it, and I was like, "Oh, come on, Dana." I used to could stay awake, but now it hits a certain time, usually about 7 o'clock or something like that. 6, 7 o'clock, and I start getting really super sleepy. So those of you that are quite a bit younger than me, look out when you start getting in your mid to late 40s. I'll be 50 next year. Just look out for that because um, you it could sneak up on you, that just falling asleep at the drop of a hat. No matter what you're watching, you could be watching the best movie in the world, and I almost fall asleep in the movie theaters too. It makes me so angry. TJ, you say you were tired in your 20s. I wasn't as tired in my 20s as I am now. Like it's terrible. It's terrible. I just I'll be, thinking I'm wide awake and stuff, and then all of a sudden my head will go forward and I just drop off to sleep. It's crazy. Um, but I'll go ahead and give a rating for Who Saw Her Die, and I'm going to go ahead and give it 4 deadites out of 5 as well. Um, Again, if they had tightened it up a little bit and took out a little bit of the extra exposition, I probably could have gave it 5 deadites out of 5, but I'm going to give it 4 deadites out of 5 tonight. And as I always say about these particular streams, is that I don't ever intend for them to be, super long. So I'm going to go ahead and tie up this episode of They're All Messed Up. And as always, I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I get off of here for the night, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic rest of your Thursday night, folks. And hopefully, many of you will have a 3-day weekend coming up because Monday is Labor Day, folks. Me and Steve are both off, so I'm looking forward to that. And tomorrow's a short day for me, and I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. I should be able to get off about 11:30 or so. But I will also want to remind everybody to be sure to blast some Aussie and live the Aussie way. And by that, I mean live in the present and go into the future. Don't stay in the past, folks, and don't ever give up on your dreams. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, folks. And if you couldn't hang out with me as this was live, I want to thank those of you that will see this on the replay. I love each and every one of you guys and gals, and I'll see everybody next time.